Hey everyone, welcome back to CBS Beyond the Gates Spoilers. It is a beautiful, crazy Wednesday, and we have a ton of casting news and comings and goings to break down for next week. Grab a massive cup of coffee because the drama in Fairmont Estates is heating up, and we have so much to cover. So, let's just jump right in because my head is literally spinning from staring at these spoiler sheets all morning. We have to talk about the newest arrival in the DMV. And honestly, it's about time we got some fresh blood in town, right? Noah is officially here. We saw him make a pretty big impact on Deanna McBride at Orphe Jeans recently. He was totally broke, his credit card was maxed out, and he had absolutely no cash to pay for his pie. And Deanna, who has been so hyper-focused on her dark revenge plot against Joey Armstrong, actually stopped and helped him out. She bailed him out with a 20. It was a classic, cheesy soap meet. He gave her his number for Venmo purposes because his phone was dead. And according to the comings and goings for next week, specifically Tuesday, July 28 and Wednesday, July 29, Noah returns and these two reconnect. But let's back up a second. Who actually is Noah? Well, it turns out he is Dr. Kial Rollins' son. Yes, Kial has a son who is a struggling musician, and he's played by Nick Hagelin. You guys might recognize him from the 5th season of Netflix's Sweet Magnolias. It's actually really cool, because Nick is a real-life singer-songwriter and a dancer who went to the School of American Ballet in New York City, where he grew up. He's also been on The Hunting Wives, Law and Order, SVU, and Insatiable. So the casting department really nailed this one. They got an actual musician to play a musician. But what does this mean for Deanna? She has been so dark lately. She is literally communicating with a mysterious father figure and plotting to nail Joey to the wall over her real dad Doug's death. She even had that insanely tense dinner with Joey and Vanessa where she was just testing the waters, trying to see him sweat. So maybe, just maybe, Noah is exactly the kind of distraction Deanna needs right now. Or maybe he's going to get dragged into her messy revenge plot. I mean, imagine Noah finding out the girl he likes is trying to take down a casino boss who covers up murders. Classic Beyond the Gates drama. I just don't know if Deanna can balance a cute new romance with a scorched earth vendetta. And speaking of Joey Armstrong, we have another major return next week. Ashley Jones is back as Heather Armstrong, Joey's sister. And things are about to get so incredibly messy. Because on Monday, July 27, Vanessa has an intense conversation with Joey's sister. But here's the kicker. Vanessa caught Heather in the lower level of the casino on Friday. That's Joey's private area. And Vanessa has no idea who Heather is. So she's probably going to interrogate her, thinking she's another woman or some shady business partner. Which, let's be real, she kind of is a shady business partner given Joey's history. But Vanessa is just so clueless sometimes. I love Lauren Buglioli. But come on, Vanessa, open your eyes. Joey is literally hiding a scorched earth letter from Doug that says Joey had someone murdered. And Vanessa just thinks Joey is a successful businessman who loves her. How long can Vanessa stay in the dark? Heather being back to tie up loose ends is terrifying. Joey is already paranoid. If Heather starts poking around and Deanna is poking around, Joey's empire is going to crumble. And I am here for it. I really am. But wait, there is so much more happening on Monday. Katie McLean is already back as Pamela Curtis, Danny's manager and confidant. Pamela is supposed to have a major update on Danny's career, maybe a new sponsorship deal. But honestly, how is Danny even functioning right now? She is keeping this massive, explosive secret about sleeping with Bill Hamilton in an elevator during the tornado. And her husband Andre is absolutely spiraling. He is on day 4 of being rattled by these anonymous gifts. He got a bottle of champagne with no name on it. He knows something is wrong. He even tries to confide in Ted about it, but you know Andre, he'll probably chicken out. And Bill is just a menace. Bill is likely sending these gifts to mess with Danny's head. And Danny is out here giving relationship advice to Nicole? Nicole, who is juggling Carlton and Kial, turns to Danny for advice. It's laughable. Danny is the last person who should be giving advice right now. It just makes me scream at the screen. Like, Danny, fix your own house before you tell your sister what to do. And we have to talk about the country club drama. On Monday, Martin Richardson absolutely blows up at Anastasia Bellaclaire. Timecast Soretti returns as Anastasia, the resident gossip who loves to push buttons. And Martin, who is usually so cool and calm, just loses it. Why? What could she possibly say to trigger him? We know Martin has some deep, dark trauma. He literally killed a man years ago to protect Vernon. He and Smitty just had a whole conversation about that rough patch last week. So Martin is already on edge. My guess? Anastasia probably makes some offside nasty comment about the cotillion. Or maybe she says something about Samantha not being a real Dupree again. You do not mess with Martin's family. I actually can't wait to see Martin put her in her place, even if he goes a little too far. It's going to be explosive. Then we move into Tuesday and Wednesday, and the comings and goings list Ernestine Johnson returning as Shanice, our favourite supervising nurse. But guys, I am so worried for Shanice. She and Ted just had this beautiful moment where they both admitted they are falling in love. And now she is planning for her future. A future with Ted. But is it too much, too soon? Yes. 1,000,000 times yes. Because the spoilers for Monday also say that Ted crosses a line with Nicole, his ex-wife? Are they hooking up? Is he giving her unsolicited advice about Kial and Carlton? Either way, Ted is still entangled with Nicole, and Shanice is just so pure and hopeful. She is going to get her heart broken. I can just feel it. The writers love to build Shanice up just to tear her down. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on Ted. Maybe he really does want Shanice. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. He needs to figure out his boundaries before he drags Shanice into his mess. Let's not forget the other familiar faces popping up. On Wednesday, July 29, we have Geordie Villasuso returning as Grayson, and he'll be in scenes with Jen Jacobs' Ashley. Grayson has been a good sounding board for Tomas lately, who is whining about nepotism and Kat rejecting his proposal. Tomas is just so bitter right now. Kat bought a condo and wanted him to move in, and he couldn't handle his bruised ego. So maybe Grayson and Ashley are going to get dragged into the younger crowd's drama. And then on Thursday, July 30, Greg Vaughan's Kial gets a shock. What kind of shock? Well, his son Noah is in town, so maybe it has to do with Noah's new job at the free clinic. Or maybe it has to do with Nicole. Nicole is dating Kial and Carlton at the same time. Maybe Kial finds out about Ted crossing a line with Nicole. There are so many moving parts. It is exhausting just trying to keep track of who is dating who. Finally, we wrap up the week on Friday, July 31 with Maurice P. Kerry returning as Randy Parker. Oh, Randy. Randy. He is in so deep with Hayley's insane plot to poison Bill. Hayley is literally a sociopath. She is using toxins to make Bill have tremors and slurred speech so she can take his money and his estate. And Randy is helping her. But Mona Wilson, sweet Mona, is trying to get Randy to go to church and be a better man. Hayley literally warned Randy to stay away from Mona because she's afraid Randy will confess. And honestly, he should. Randy needs to dodge this bullet. Hayley told him she did him a solid with Lynette Wise disappearing. What did Hayley do to Lynette? Smitty is investigating it. Kat is asking questions. The Dupree cousins are having a family summit to take Hayley down. The walls are closing in on Hayley, and if Randy doesn't get out now, he is going down with her. And speaking of the Dupree cousins, we can't ignore the massive fallout from Naomi's BRCA gene test results. Naomi finally told Chelsea, Martin, and Kat. And Chelsea was so upset that Naomi kept it a secret. But Chelsea has her own mess to deal with. She did that live stream with Eva about Eva's transplant, and she totally used Kat's trauma for clout. Chelsea is all about her brand, and Kat feels completely replaced. Kat is sitting there thinking she's losing another person to Eva Thomas's charms. Naomi is having to play peacemaker between her sister and her cousin, all while dealing with her own terrifying health news and Jacob being so unsupportive about a double mastectomy. It is just too much for Naomi. She is carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. And then June gives Naomi some intriguing intel on Thursday? What does June know? June always hears things. Maybe she overheard Hayley and Randy plotting. That would blow the whole show wide open. And let's circle back to Eva for a second. Eva finally gets a press interview because of that live stream. And who ruins it? Her mother. Leslie. Trisha Mann Grant is playing Leslie to perfection because I absolutely despise the character right now. Leslie hijacks the interview to make it all about herself. She is so narcissistic. She already tried to throw herself at Ted, and now she is ruining Eva's moment. Eva yelled at her to leave, but Leslie just doesn't listen. And we can't forget the true matriarch and patriarch of the show, Anita and Vernon. Anita just beat cancer and gave Laura Peterson a beautiful gift for saving her life by urging her to get that physical. Anita is a queen. But Vernon? Vernon is trying to give Bill Hamilton some wise health advice, and Bill is just being his usual stubborn, arrogant self. Bill checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice while he has toxins in his blood. Who actually believes this is going to end well? Bill's ego is going to be the death of him, literally, if Hayley doesn't finish the job first. So yeah, the comings and goings for this week are completely stacked. We have Nick Hagelin bringing the music and the charm as Noah. We have Ashley Jones bringing the dark criminal underworld back to Joey's doorstep as Heather. We have Katie McLean, Timecast Soretti, Ernestine Johnson, Geordie Villasuso, Jen Jacob, Greg Vaughan, and Morris P. Kerry all returning to push these insane storylines forward. I am exhausted just thinking about it, but I literally cannot wait to watch. It's going to be a messy, emotional, chaotic week in Fairmont Estates, and I will be right here breaking it all down for you guys.